Hi, welcome back to Dr. Sam in the City. We're filming from a new set, as you can see. What do you think? Do you like it? Should we try and find something else? I quite like this sort of wooden backdrop thingy, and I think the light's quite good, but let me know. It is a bit echoey in here, but hopefully that's not too annoying. So today I'm doing a short video on laser hair removal at home. I did a post on Instagram on Saturday which seemed to inspire questions, so I thought I would just cover it briefly. Now, I have two devices here. There's the Braun one, there's the Lumea from Philips, and there's the Tria device. These are sort of three main ones on the market at the moment. There are probably others, but those are the ones on my radar. And they work on the same principle largely, which is that hairs on the body contain melanin, which is what makes them pigmented, and you're able to use light, specifically targeting the melanin in those hairs, to encourage hairs to be shed. Now, in some people this will lead to a permanent reduction in hair growth. In others it will just encourage epilation, i.e. for the hairs to fall out from the roots. I think the thicker and coarser your hair is, the more likely you are just to get the epilation rather than the permanent hair reduction result. But each device will say different things about what level of success it will deliver. In me, I'm fair-skinned and I have dark hairs, which is the ideal scenario because you want the light to be able to differentiate between skin and the hair, so it targets the hair and delivers the energy into the hair root, which triggers the shedding, or in an ideal world, destruction of hair follicles. So that's the ideal situation. It doesn't tend to work at all in fair-skinned, fair-haired individuals, and I would discourage using these sorts of devices if you have pigmented skin. So if you tan easily and are Mediterranean skin type or darker, I really would advocate that you go and see a doctor in an office who does laser hair removal and will be able to choose a device more suited to your skin type. So for me, it works well. Fair skin, dark hair, hairs aren't too coarse. The big no-no with laser hair removal is tanning. You must not tan whilst you're treating your skin with one of these devices. But in those who, as I say, aren't tanned and have fair skin and dark hair, I find it tends to be very effective. And I suppose one of the biggest advantages is for those who tend to get reactions to other forms of hair removal. So for instance, if you wax and you tend to erupt in red bumps or spots, or just generally your skin is irritated, this can often be a better way to remove hair. The same is true for those who get shaving reactions. Again, it's a common cause of problems, whether it's your legs, in your underarm area, or even your bikini line. So for me, this is a less traumatic way of removing the hair, and it tends to avoid that eruptive cycle which can cause so many problems. What else is there to say about it? I find it to be quite quick. In general, I'm not great at sticking with devices if things need to have upkeep, but most of these brands recommend doing it every 2 weeks or so, and usually after about 8 weeks you find that overall the reduction in growth means that you can space out treatments by a greater amount. Yeah, it's a kind of activity where you can do something else once you kind of get the knack of it at the same time, whether it's you know, catching up on Netflix or FaceTiming your mum or something. Final things to say: the level of discomfort I don't think is particularly great. I find waxing much more unpleasant. I think epilation is probably a bit more uncomfortable as well, but again, different people have different pain thresholds. So yeah, even on sort of maximum settings, these home use devices don't tend to be as sore as in office procedures. Now, it's not to say that one is better than the other. I'm just a big advocate of people having control of their own beauty practices, and if doing it in the comfort of your own home means that you're actually able to maintain the treatment more regularly, and certainly for me that tends to work better than having to go into an office to have a treatment, It's portable, they're not unpleasant objects to look at, so I think they're a good tool when used correctly by the right people. I hope that was helpful. Bye for now.